So, I recently rewatched School of Rock. It stars Jack Black as Dewey Finn, a washed up rocker who masquerades as a substitute teacher. He uses the kids to start a band and win the battle of the band so he can pay his rent and kickstart his music career. It's a classic, but upon rewatching it recently, one major thing stuck out to me. Why wasn't Dewey Finn arrested for numerous obvious felonies, including identity theft, fraud, and potential child neglect? What would he be charged with? What kind of jail time would he be facing if convicted? These are the crimes of Dewey Finn.
Yeah.
Is this Mr. Schneebly?
Nah, he's not here.
Oh, could you take a message for me?
Yeah.
Hi, my name's Rosalie Mullins. I'm the principal here at Horace Green Prep, and we're having a little emergency here. One of our teachers broke her leg on the way to school this morning, and all of our subs are already working. Pat Wickham at Milton Prep recommended I give Mr. Schneebly a call. Do you know if he's available?
How long's the gig?
Excuse me?
How long is the job?
My guess is as much as a few weeks, but we do need somebody to start immediately.
So how much are we talking here?
We pay our substitutes $6.50 a week. Now, do you know when Mr. Schneebly will be back?
Hold on a sec. Oh, you know what? I think he's just coming in right now. Ned, phone!
Hello, this is Ned Schneebly.
Okay, before I divulge into the real details, I want to make something absolutely crystal clear. I am not a legal professional. If any details are wrong or just flat out not right, please bear this in mind. I'm just some guy with too much free time and Google. Anyway, the first felony we witness Dewey commit is blatant identity theft. When he hears the details of the substitute gig, he's enticed by the $6.50 a week. Keep this number in mind, I'll mention it again later. According to NewYorkLawyers.org, you are guilty of NYPL 190.79 if you knowingly and with the intent to defraud assume another person's identity by, for example, using that person's personal identifying information to obtain money, goods, services, or property, or use their credit in an amount that exceeds $500. Personal identifying information is a specifically defined term in the New York penal law. It includes such personal information as social security numbers, driver's license numbers, dates of birth, and debit card numbers. Obviously, there was intent and knowledge. But how can we verify that Dewey used Ned's personal identifying information? Well,
Pat faxed me your resume. It's very impressive. We've never been in a bind like this before, so thank you so much.
So how's this gonna work? Are you gonna pay me up front?
I don't understand.
It'd be really great if I could get paid now in cash.
Oh, well, we don't do that.
Okay, well, when you cut my check, just make it payable to Dewey Finn for tax reasons.
You can discuss all of that with Candace in administration at the end of the day.
although it's never actually shown on screen, it's a pretty safe bet that Dewey had to do some kind of paperwork to set his employment up at Horace Green. It's reasonable to say that since he lives with Ned, he has easy access to a lot of his personal documents. Principal Mullins references his resume, and yeah, Dewey could have made a fake one. It probably would have been way easier just to use one Ned had lying around the apartment somewhere. While none of this is definitive, I think it's fairly safe to say that Dewey probably used Ned's social security card to verify his employment eligibility. If convicted of this, he could be looking at potentially 4 years in prison. That's just the tip of the iceberg, though. We're not even getting started.
Clear.
All right, you guys. Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
Strap in. Let's do this.
Oh, dude. Cool.
this one's a little bit of a doozy. We got an elaborate setup for Dewey to secretly smuggle these kids off school property for the Battle of the Bands audition. 8 kids total. According to FindLaw.com, a person is guilty of kidnapping in the first degree when he abducts another person and when his intent is to compel a third person to pay or deliver money or property as ransom, or to engage in other particular conduct, or to refrain from engaging in particular conduct. Or he restrains the other person abducted for a period of more than 12 hours with intent to inflict physical injury upon him, violate him or sexually abuse him, or accomplish or advance the commission of a felony, or terrorize him or a third person, or interfere with the performance of a governmental or political function. Okay, so none of these exactly sound like they fit the bill. And Dewey absolutely didn't restrain these kids for 12 hours or more, but I'm going to argue this. He absolutely did this to accomplish or advance the commission of a felony. Now, you can say the kids went with him consensually, but the fact of the matter is that these are children, and they think this is all part of a school project. They don't know that he's using them for their talent to try to advance his own music career. I'm not exactly sure how kidnapping convictions work in the state of New York, but let's just pretend that he gets a separate charge for all 8 kids individually. The maximum penalty for this charge is 25 years. Now take 25, multiply it by 8, you get 200. Which means that Dewey Finn is looking at a potential 200 years just for these 8 charges.
Can I see you in the hall for a moment?
Let me just say a couple more things.
What's going on?
What's happening, officer?
Apparently that man is not Ned Schneebly.
What?
What? This man is Ned Schneebly.
Yeah, he's not even a teacher.
You called the cops?
She did. She got it out of me. Sorry.
You're apologizing to him?
Sorry.
Ned. Ned, is this true? Who are you?
So, I just gotta ask, why wasn't this man arrested on the spot? There's more than enough confirmation to do it right there and then, and yet all the cops seem to be able to do is be confused. I've never had any sort of interaction with the NYPD. I've never even been to New York. But is this Brooklyn Nine-Nine or something? Anyway, this was just so baffling to me that I had to mention it, and it also leads us into our next crime. Okay, so in comparison to, let's say, kidnapping, evading arrest really doesn't seem too bad. It's also relatively self-explanatory, so I don't think I'll bore you with a multi-paragraph explanation of what it entails. It's also not a felony, being a Class A misdemeanor in the state of New York with a maximum penalty of 364 days in jail. Let's just say a year. Also, I gotta talk about this real quick.
I have nothing to say to you.
Me either.
We watch Dewey run from the cops, who at the very least know that he's committed identity theft and posed as a teacher. Serious arrestable crimes. But where does Dewey retreat to? His goddamn apartment. Like he's literally at his goddamn house. And yet no cops have thought, maybe he went home. Are they even looking for him? Like, what is the NYPD even good for? Like, sorry, it's off topic, but goddamn, like, what?
Hi, Mr. Snavely. How's it going?
You guys, all I can say is, let's rock! One more thing. I want to say I'm sorry that I used you guys. I'm sorry I lied. And it's not cool to lie to your band.
Come on, we're gonna be late. There's no time for apologies. Let's go, come on!
All right, let's go!
So, the kids technically came to him. They convinced the bus driver to take them to Dewey's apartment. And on that note, by the way, how did the bus driver not know that Dewey wasn't Ned Schneebly? Like, do you think the whole school would know by now? Anyway, the mess he's already created with this situation in the school. If the state were already looking to press charges, This would be easy to look at as an attempt for Dewey to get what he's been after this whole time: the kids to perform at the Battle of the Bands and launch his music career. This time, it's the entire class as opposed to just the ones he needed for the audition. 18 kids. We went over the penalties earlier, so once again, assuming he gets a charge for each kid, that's another potential 450 years of prison time. Now, before I wrap all this up, I'm going to show you one more clip. I just want to put something into perspective for you guys.
What are you all dressed up for?
I got a hot date.
That's weird. I got a check from Horace Green Prep for $1,200. I've never even worked there.
Remember at the beginning, whenever Principal Mullins was discussing the teaching job on the phone with Dewey? She mentioned that the pay was $650 a week. Here, Ned mentions that he has a check for $1,200 from Horace Green, which implies that all of these crimes were committed in a time span of roughly 2 weeks. 2 weeks that it took him to do all of this. That's it. Suppose that he gets arrested and faces every single charge that he could face. We have identity theft in the second degree, which is 4 years, 8 counts of kidnapping, which is 200 years, 1 count of evading arrest, which is a year, and 18 more counts of kidnapping for another 450 years. He goes to court. The judge is a total hard ass, wants to make a total example out of him. Maximum sentence, no chance for parole. Dewey is looking at a grand total of 655 years in a New York prison. The movie ends with this nice clip of the kids rocking out in Dewey's new music school, but in this version of the movie, he would end up in prison for the rest of his life, and he would die there. Anyway, this was the video that I decided to make. It was mostly just made out of pure boredom. It's not good. I didn't expect it to be good, but I wanted to make something from start to finish. It's a good way to hone my skills, I guess. I don't know. I'm just trying to do more creative things, and this felt like a fun way to do it. If you watched this video and you enjoyed it, thanks for watching, I guess. If you didn't enjoy this video, I don't care either way. Anyway, that was this video. So, yeah.